what I do is being the in-between between the company and stakeholders, be they government, NGOs, but that's basically what I do, and I'm based in the Johannesburg office. It was important for us to hold this workshop for a couple of reasons, and I'll just mention a few. First of all, Africa is important to us as Facebook, and this was the key message in the interview, but in the workshop. But also the other important thing for us is to bring people together, to have a dialogue, and for us to listen, to learn, and to connect with the journalists that were in the room. And what we prioritize as a company as well is not just for us to come and speak, but also to learn what are the issues, what issues do you face, what concerns, how can we work together. So it was important for us to do this, and we are hoping that this will not be the first and last time and then we pack our bags and go, but we can continue this process of connecting with the media community. It will be a process of of us having a conversation about our community standards, and also us get to know you as well as people who are using our platform, and as people who are using our platform to disseminate content in the region, but also for us to drive the key messages around not only our community standards, but also we approach developing these community standards. One of the key issues one of our experts talked about are the principles that we prioritize, giving people the voice, here, and this is what this was also all about, to hear what you want to say, but also looking at other principles like privacy. Privacy for us at Facebook is at the heart of everything we do, and it informs even how we build our community standards. But beyond that, safety as well, not only of the general users, but of the journalists themselves. How can you ensure that you are safe on our platform? As Facebook, we don't regulate content, but these community standards act as the do's and don'ts, like your guidelines. But what I want to bring to the fore is we work with various experts to ensure that we get as much feedback as possible on issues. So first of all, our own content policy team is made up of experts themselves, former teachers, former law enforcement people, lawyers, human rights lawyers, people who have worked on research, academics, and of course they work on the content, but we also work with experts who help inform the community standards themselves. But beyond the experts, we also work with local groups, local cultural experts, and in this context, the Umhlanga ceremony, to ensure that our community standards they are up to date and they are informed by the local context. But also beyond that, also knowing that our community standards are global in nature, and are developed to ensure that they can service the different communities that are on our platforms. Nudity, of course, it's a topical issue, and we continue to have conversations. One of the experts who presented this morning is an expert on that, on nudity on the platform. As a company, Africa is important to us, and when we say Africa, it means Africa not just as Africa as a concept, but Africa is important to us, and for it being important to us, it means that we have invested in the continent, and we continue doing so, and that also includes the languages in terms of coverage, in terms of ensuring that some of our resources are even translated to that language. I know it doesn't respond to the monetization piece, but it's something obviously that will connect you with the media partnerships team. But just to get this point, that it's as a company, we are working obviously to improve on different areas, but what drives us and what drives everything that we are doing, including this workshop, is because we see the value of connecting, of having a dialogue and being informed by our mission as well. we prioritize education. And when I say education, we prioritize ensuring that people who are using our platform know, one, the community standards, and the workshop that we're having here, or the initiative that we're having here, is around that as well. So with intellectual property, we are working, obviously, one, to ensure that people know what our guidelines are around that. Also working with, obviously, the media partnerships team, work with the media people, but we also work with policy stakeholders or policy people to ensure that our intellectual property guidelines are not only relevant globally, but also people know about it, because that's usually where the problem is, where you don't even know what is provided within the community standards themselves. So I just want to thank everyone who came to having, who came to the event, because not only does it give us an opportunity to know you and an opportunity to connect, but also it gives us an opportunity to network and to learn more on how, what else can we do, because this platform, speaking to our mission at Facebook, to give people the voice and the power, is for us to be able to continue being relevant and to continue doing that, and for us that's something that's important. And quick ones also, I think, is when we're talking about community standards, to say this is something that is not static but is dynamic, and we're hoping that people who are in this conversation can take back what they learned about the community standards themselves and discuss with your own media house, with your communities as well, because for Facebook, all safety, privacy is a shared responsibility, and while we take our responsibilities as a company, we also hopefully we can continue working together.